All right, guys, so we're back, and these are my two FlashForge AD5Xs, and this was the original one that I purchased less than a month ago. It ran for 77 hours before failure. I got the, I think it's E0007 extruder not meeting temp. And then it basically just stops. So when I originally had gotten this one, I reached out to, I bought them off Amazon. So I started a return on Amazon, and then I thought to myself, you know what, it might just be a fluke. So what I did was I requested a second one for them to just basically replace my broken one. I thought there is no way that this is like legitimately an issue, right? I mean, it's probably just a fluke. I got a bad unit, whatever, no problem. But then I started reading, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to reach out to FlashForge and see what they say. And I want to premise this by saying that Rui from FlashForge support has been amazing. He's very responsive. I've had zero issues. They sent me a new hot end for this. They thought that was what the problem was, so they sent it to me. They sent me a video on how to replace it, and I've done this in the past with other machines, so I'm very familiar. And so they sent me the new hot end. I replaced the hot end, and the same issue is happening. It doesn't even heat up. So I reached back out, and he said, you know, hey, it might be this board. We'll send you a board. So they started to send me a board, and we'll follow up on that in a little bit. But I started having the same issue on this printer. This was from 2 days ago. It started to print. It got this far. I'm not having bed adhesion issues. There's no draft over here. It's very warm. It's the same temperature. I mean, in my home, there's, you know, I have thick curtains. My windows don't leak. You know, I just want to rule out all the reasons that people might say, well, it's, you know, it's because you got a draft. No, I don't. There's no drafts. So this was a failed one. I woke up to this, and that was the error, the E0007. Then I thought, all right, so I looked at it, made sure that my silicone cover was over my extruder the way that it should be, and absolutely is. So I started this one, and this one actually failed twice. I don't know if you guys can see this, but right around here, it failed the first time, but I caught it in time. I shut the machine off like it was a power outage, turned it back on, it started printing again, and then it happened again overnight, which is why you have this separation line, right? The filaments don't bond well. So I started it again just to see what it would do, and at that point it started printing. It failed again. I started it a third time, and then the adhesion broke loose on the bed, so I've wasted another print. So I started this print just to try to see if I could get it to do this on film. But one thing you'll notice, and I'll put a picture up somewhere over here, I'm supposed to be at 220 C, and it's at 212. It's dipping down to like 210. It's going back up to like 212, then it'll go down to like 209, and then it comes back up. Right now it just dropped down to 211, and it's normal to have a little fluctuation, but I mean, I'm clearly 9 to 10 to 11 degrees cooler than what it's supposed to be. I do run the FlashForge Orca slicer. It is updated. This printer and this printer were both at the 1.1.9.1.1.1 firmware. I downgraded this thinking that maybe that was the issue. So I downgraded it to, I think it's 1.1.6. It was just what they had available on their download section of their site, FlashForges. And, you know, I mean, I even sent FlashForge tech support and, you know, a picture of it and said, hey, look, it's even happening on my other machine. So I'm kind of torn, but I'm not. I'm going to be returning both of these. I should have stuck with my initial thought of buying Bamboo Labs. I actually bought one and then returned it unopened because I thought, you know, these things are a great deal. And I do think that these printers are very capable. As a matter of fact, I even ordered, and they're not here yet, but I'm going to return them, the enclosures for these as well, right? I thought, you know, I'm going to spend some time, and I ordered cameras for both. It's all going to get returned, but, you know, unfortunately at this point, I think that FlashForge is at a point of they just need some more work. There's obviously an issue. If this was only happening to one, and let's say I had this one and this one ran fine, and granted, this one lasted longer. This one's got over 200 hours of printing. Now, let's put that into perspective, because some of you guys might be going, God, 200 hours? Like, you should expect a failure. No, you really shouldn't. You know, my Creality's got thousands of hours on it, no issues. You know, you think about a big multi-print, right? Like a large scale multi-colored print. You know, that can take 48 hours by itself. You know, especially with, you know, swapping filaments and, you know, and the whole changing every loop, you know, it does. It's very extensive, right? So those machines are running. They shouldn't fail at, you know, 77 hours is what I had on this one, and roughly 200 on this one. It just shouldn't happen. So, you know, hopefully, you know, they do get them fixed. I do like them. They have a great price point. However, it's not worth my time to have to wait. Like, literally, this one worked for 2 days. I've had it for just about, not even a month. It's been like 3.5 weeks. So it worked for 2 days. Actually, I take that back. It worked for, well, it's got 77 hours. And basically, once I got it, I started printing right away. So what, 4 days? 4 days. And then it failed. So, you know, we shouldn't have to go through that as consumers. And actually, you can see now it's at 209°C. So it's 11 degrees cooler than what it should be. I'm expecting that this may, in fact, fail. And I'll post a pic of what that failure looks like. But, you know, it's just, it's sad. It is. I really wanted to like these, and they did fantastic. They're faster than my Creality. You know, not the newer Crealities, but I'm just saying they're fast. I really enjoy the prints. The prints turn out, you know, wonderfully when they do. You know, we did some, you know, some big dragons and, you know, these crystal dragons, and I mean, they come out just perfect. And, you know, so unfortunately though, I think it's time to return these, go back to Bamboo Labs. I kicked myself in the shorts for missing out on the Black Friday deals with the Bamboo Labs, but it is what it is. And you know, there's your warning. Now we're down to 208°C, so it's probably about to fail. It's trying. It went back up to 209. But it just keeps dropping and dropping, and then it comes back up, and then it drops and drops, and then eventually it's gonna give me that error. You know, and like I said, it's unfortunate. I have checked everything internally, made sure all my connections were good. It's just unfortunately not working the way it should. So there's my honest review. Stay away from FlashForge until they fix their stuff. And for all those people out there that are going to tell me I'm doing it wrong, listen, I've been 3D printing before you were even out of school. I assure you, I've been 3D printing for 15 years. I have never had a printer ever fail the way that these two have, ever. And like I said, fluke, maybe, definitely not a fluke once you get to this point. You see, we're back down to 209. Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't know if it's you know, something with the fans or, you know, whatever it is, but hopefully FlashForge works it out. Till next time, be good to each other. God bless.
A few moments later.
And it's about to fail again. Just so you guys can see, look at it. It's down to 200. Let me see if I can block that. Like 207C. It stopped about. There it goes. Look. There it is. So, in order to fix it, to finish the print, I have to turn the printer off. I have to turn the printer back on. And then it treats it like it's a power outage. So that is the nice thing about newer printers, is they do have resume print, but it's silly. I mean, I've just had it. It's not worth the hassle of, you know, having to sit here and watch these things, but I'm tired of wasting filament, so I'm gonna push through and to make sure that this one gets done. But yeah, this is why, you know, in my opinion, yes, I want to continue. And you'll see it heats back up. It'll go all the way up to 220C, then it'll start to print, and then it just slowly starts fading out, and then bloop, it's done. So, and keep in mind too, this one is actually at 1.1.7. So I just tried something different. It was doing the same thing in 1.1.9.1.1, whatever their latest is. So it is what it is. So that's it.